Well, well, well. There is nothing left to do but to play the game. Let's go. It is that time. Biggest game of the season for not only the Dallas Cowboys. This is the biggest game of the season for the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys are ascending, the Lions are descending. It is going to be a battle today. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, what you waiting on? We have a lot of more great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Cowboy fans, this is, again, the game of the season. You know, the game last week, Thanksgiving Thursday, that was the highest rated game in history. But I want to know something. I want to know what tonight looks like. Because I'm telling y'all, this game tonight, this is must-watch television. We are watching a soap opera. Cowboys ascending. Detroit Lions descending. Cowboys getting it all together. The Philadelphia Eagles the Detroit Lions falling to pieces at the seams. This is the matchup. This is the matchup of the season again. Last Thursday is Thanksgiving. We win that game, it's cool. But that game just kind of showed, hey, we real with ours. But this game is a defining game simply because this is a playoff game. There's no other way to put it. It's a playoff game. Cowboys lose this game, they're gonna need a whole lot of help. Detroit Lions lose this game, they're out. I believe they're out. Detroit lose, they're out. They'll need a whole lot of help. This is a playoff game. The Detroit Lions, this is exactly what the Cowboys need, because in the playoffs, you one and done. In the playoffs, it's desperation. In the playoffs, it's mano versus mano. And what will the Cowboys do? How many times over the last few seasons have we seen the Cowboys in these make or break games, in these win or go home games, in these season defining games, only for us to walk away and say, we don't really know what this team is? The Cowboys have shown us in the last 3 games they are contenders. And this game will not only show the Cowboys are not just contenders, but the Cowboys are front runners. Let's go. Man, I'm excited for the day. Man, I got 5 things we're going to talk about today. 5 things. I've already done a video with Steve Smith Sr. I want to listen to a little bit more of Steve Smith Sr. with you guys. Then we're going to talk a little bit about George Pickens, because we're going to piggyback off of Steve Smith Sr. talking about George Pickens. I'm telling y'all, I've been telling y'all this for weeks. George Pickens is incredible. It doesn't diminish CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 receiver in this game. It's just telling you how great this dude, George Pickens, is right now. I'm going to talk to you about this thing about George Pickens and this unstoppable play the Cowboys have with George Pickens. They absolutely have an unstoppable play. Then, I got another good story. Is Dak Prescott top 10? Is Dak Prescott top 10? Because it's strange to me before the season started. Dak Prescott was a tier 3 quarterback They had my uncle ranked better than Dak Prescott. They had my Uncle Gary ranked better than Dak Prescott. My Uncle Gary don't even play football. They had him ranked better than Dak Prescott. We gonna see what the pundits are saying today. And then we're gonna listen to this Detroit media talk about the Detroit Lions. And then we're gonna go back to our keys and predictions, and we'll dig in just a little bit deeper right before the game starts. And then we off to the game, watch the game, and then it's the pregame show. And I'm telling you, I'm so ready for we on to the postgame show. When we come back, it's victory time. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go! All right, let's get this quick roll call in. Quick roll call. Don't have much time. Got about an hour and 25 minutes. I want to let y'all go around 7 o'clock. I want to go out of order today. I want to thank Katharina Kiss for that super chat. Katharina Kiss, appreciate you. You fired up too? Katharina Kiss said, I believe we got this game. Let's go, boys. Love what you do, G. Katharina Kiss, I appreciate you. Katharina, you fired up. This is the game of games. It's put up or shut up today. All right. Appreciate you, Katharina Kiss. Man, let's keep this thing going. Big Moss Dog up in this thing. What's going on? It is the real estate vet, John Henry. John Jones, he said, what up, G Money? It's a New Jack City. What's going on? Robert Dudley, he said, just do it. Let's go. Terry Taylor, what's up? Lord Nova 85 in this thing. What's going on? It is the queen. What's going on? She said, I've been waiting all day for Thursday night football. We them boys. What's going on? Yeah, we're winning this game tonight. Not only for Marshall Neal tonight, but I'm telling you, I think they're dedicating the whole season. We them boys. He got it 34-21. Hey, y'all make sure y'all get them scores to my email address. We giving away that George Pickens jersey to whoever gets the exact score. Brandon Cup, what's going on? Imagine when them boys went out and we get the second or third seed. Yes, sir. Dak on filthy. My right-hand man, Daniel Rangers, formerly known as Daniel M. The reality cowboy. He said it is whoop butt time. Brandy up in this thing. Brandy, what is going on? 70 boy, what's going on? Shakira, 47-17. What? Let's go. Duck Face, quack, quack. What's going on, Duck Face? Good to see you. Cowboy Thanos, what's going on? It's on. He said it's 101, one on a hat. Let's go. Let's go. Brandy said, love the sweater, G. Appreciate you, Brandy. Always. What's going on? Marvin Washington, what's going on? Hey, we climbing, man. It's all because of y'all. I appreciate you. We trying to hit that 22,000. Michio, what's going on, Michio? It's belt to butt time. Let's go. Yeah, hey, I don't know if he playing yet, Daniel M, but I got a feeling he gonna try to tough it out. What's going on, Marion Clough? Hopefully the D shows up. Oh, they showing up. RM, the defense showing up. And when this defense show up, it's time to start giving that man, Matt Eberflus, some flowers. Douglas Harrison up in this thing. What is going on? KH8641, Travis Beck. What's going on? Let's go. I am him. Let's go. All right. I'm going to cut this thing off in another 30 seconds. Let me see if I can get some more of y'all in. Mr. Get Dirty. What's going on? My man Lockett D. Somebody said congratulations on that wrench. Not wrench, but that wrench. What's going on? Truth 1283. What's going on with you? It is Cowboys time. I'm awake. He said I'm awake. What's going on? It's the Doomsday Cowboy. What's going on? It's time to give Detroit that L. Let's go. Catlin up in this thing. Brian Worley, what's going on with y'all? Good to see y'all today. Raymond Martin, what's going on? Good to see you. It is Lonnie Cabal. It is my unofficial co-host, Angie the Rebel Chicks. Derek Williams is up in this thing. Wayne Graham, Jaden Justin, what is going on? Good to see everybody. Moore Eddie, Michael Winston in this thing. Bobby Murphy, not Charlie Murphy, but Bobby Murphy. What is going on with you? Let's go. Blue blood up in this thing. Ain't no stopping us now. Azteca Aguilar, what is going on? Pure Gaming, he said it's 28-10. What's up? Yeah, Byron DeVee. Appreciate that super chat. He said, what up, G? Lions won't be able to outduel the Cowboys offensively. Cowboys win 40-23. Yeah, they gonna get busy. Matrix, what's going on? Why you can't watch the game? Why can you not watch the game, Mixed Matrix? Tell us what's going on. Eric Gonzalez, what is going on? Man, I see some new people. Young KB3X, what's going on? He said 50 10. What's going on? Man, Yahusuf Benny Israel. What's going on? All right, I got to get out of here. D-Mac, I got to get this thing going, guys. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. All right. Angela Brewer, what's going on? Let me throw this down here. Top Water Frog, what's up? What's up? Man, good to see y'all. Jay, man, there's so many of y'all in here. Bass, you know I can't forget. You know I gotta say, I gotta shout y'all Bass. What's going on? Let's see. Let's put this thing, let's see. Let me make sure I put this in here. Y'all send those scores to my email address. The cutoff time will be 7:15. Any emails after 7:15, I'm not accepting them. What up, Craig Thorcell? What is going on with you, man? Good to see you. What's going on? Safety Screw Market? What's up? Good to see you. Man, he said, I don't like the Lions being favored 3.5. Let's go Cowboys. Yeah, we're going to see how that go. I got a feeling the boys might blow that thing out of the water, man. I got a feeling the Cowboys may blow that out of the water. All right, so this came across my timeline today. Steve Smith Sr.
Decisions?
Yeah.
Whoops. Steve Smith Sr. So him and James Palmer have been talking. They were talking about the Cowboys are the team that nobody wants to see right now. So I want to kind of see if we can go from there, and then I want to go into them talking about George Pickens. Check this out.
As well. And so what Schottenheimer and this group have been able to do to get through something that really nobody should ever go through during their playing career, and find a way to galvanize this team and play the way they're playing and the inspired football that they're playing. He is a relationship builder, one, and he's great at it. But two, we haven't seen him call plays since 2020, Steve. And he is playing really good football with this offense and Dak Prescott and the weapons that they have. Now, I understand there's a lot of talent there, but I've seen this evolve as the season's gone on with the way Schottenheimer's working it.
What up, Joe Transhina?
George Pickens, and you can ask anybody in Dallas.
So let's kind of capitalize off of this. I want to appreciate you, Randy Cadell. What's going on? 35-20 Dallas is on, G. I feel good. I feel great just to watch the Cowboys. I go to bed late. How about them Cowboys? Appreciate you, Randy. 35-20. That's kind of where I'm close to also. I'm close to that also. Make sure y'all send those scores so you can get that George Pickens jersey. First one to get that score right on my email list is going to get that George Pickens jersey. So you got to get your scores in. You got to get them in now, just in case a few people have the same score. If your name is up there first, you're getting that jersey. You are getting that jersey. Blue blood, I agree with you. Yeah, we owe him. But, you know, you think about Brian Schottenheimer. And Brian Schottenheimer, we've had some things we've said about Brian Schottenheimer. And it's okay to, critique some of the things that Brian Schottenheimer has done. I really think that when Brian Schottenheimer stepped into the defensive room, I think that hurt the Cowboys. We saw a little bit of a lull with the Cowboys when he stepped into that defensive room. I mean, the Denver Broncos, they spanked us. We wound up getting beat by the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, him in that defensive room, it really seemed like the defense took a dip, and it seemed like that he kind of called some bad games to me for about three or four games. But the Kansas City Chiefs game, I believe, is the best game he's called all season. And I hope that is not the pinnacle. But that was the best game he called all season. Matt Eberflus. I mean, he hasn't had many great games as it is. But since he's got the new acquisitions, the Kansas City Chiefs game was the best game that Matt Eberflus has called since he got the new acquisitions. So I'm hoping that's the jumping off point. Now, I'm just saying all that to say that we know that Brian has had some quirks here and there. But overall, Brian Schottenheimer's been incredible. I think the greatest thing he did was build a culture that could handle so many of the things that this team has endured. And the biggest thing I give him credit for, and just wait until he gets this full year under his belt, I think he's done an exceptional job dealing with the Dallas Cowboys media. He doesn't get enough credit for how he deals with the Dallas Cowboys media. And I think he's also done a real good job as it applies to how he kind of deals with the fan base. Things of that nature. Brian Schottenheimer has done an overall knockdown, bang-out job. And not only has he done a knockdown, bang-out job, but a lot of this, too, I'm going to give Dak Prescott some credit, because Dak Prescott, some of the things that we heard Dak Prescott talking about in 2024, Brian Schottenheimer came back and implemented a lot of those things in 2025. Y'all remember Dak Prescott was talking about, one of the things he was talking about was practice. Dak was talking about practice a lot in 2024 before he got hurt. Dak was talking about bad practices, talking about guys not being all about football. Y'all remember those conversations? Guys not being all about football. And so Dak Prescott and Brian Schottenheimer have come in. Brian has came on, and they are doing a great job with this. So I love it. Okay, Miss Matrix, I'm on a flight right now headed to Germany. Apparently, Prime won't work on this aircraft. Oh, no. No. Well, hopefully by the time you get to where you're going and you land, you're going to get the good news that the Cowboys have beat the Detroit Lions, and we are on our way. Star Guardian X, appreciate that super chat. Yeah, Star Guardian X, we kind of knew this was trending. The Lions did everything they could to get him ready, but do not be surprised if he doesn't finish the game. And I don't think he's going to be what he would have been had he been healthy. So we'll see how it goes. James Slater, Kippy, what up? James Slater just interviewed Dak. Dak said he's putting up more yards than he did the last time he played there. He told her she can quote him on that. Our quarterback, when he's cocky, now he has weapons. Kippy. You want to know why he's cocky? I said this in our early discussions this season. Kippy, you ready for this? A quarterback gets cocky when he has a defense. That's when your quarterback gets cocky. You want to know why, Kippy? Because now Dak Prescott has shown all of us, whether we realize it or not, he has a defense that's good enough that if he throws an interception, because he's going to be aggressive, he's going to take chances, he's got a defense now that's got his back. So if he makes a mistake, they can eventually get him some stops, and he can make up for whatever mistakes that he made, and he can still score points. Man, think about it. They stopped the Philadelphia Eagles on, what was it, 8 straight drives? What? Throws an interception in the beginning of the Kansas City game, and then the Cowboys defense again went through 3 drives and stopped Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's why he's cocky, Kippy. That's why he's cocky. When you got a defense, I told y'all this early before the season started, man. I said it, boy. When you got a defense, your quarterback play different. Your quarterback plays different with a defense because he's not worried about making mistakes. In 2023, Dak was always worried about making a mistake. Dak knew in 2023, 1 mistake and we're done. 2, well, 1 mistake, the chances have just went down exponentially. 2 mistakes, we're done. Now, when you got a defense, that's the difference that we're seeing right now in Dak Prescott, and that's the difference that we're seeing in Brian Schottenheimer. They have a defense. When you have a defense, your confidence level is different. The Cowboys could always score points, but their confidence level was trash. The Cowboys were putting up 40 points in the beginning of the season, but where was their confidence level? It wasn't there because the defense wasn't good. But now that they got a defense, now that the Cowboys have a defense, they're all confident. Man, I'm telling you, when Quentin Williams walks in that building, you know now you got somebody that can battle. Hey, yeah, I'm not worried. I see y'all putting Amon Ross St. Brown is back. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. The Cowboys are good to go. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you this. If he wouldn't have been here, hey, beat the brakes off of him. No excuses. But now that he's here, hey, you want to be the best? Beat the best. You beat the best. Amon Ross St. Brown don't change nothing. You beat him. You beat the best. Let's check out this thing with George Pickens, and then we're gonna keep it moving.
He's outplaying CeeDee Lamb right now, and CeeDee Lamb is one of the best receivers in football. But now they've kind of evolved how George is being used.
Now, y'all do not get offended by, and this is what I was saying early on in the season. Let's hear this beginning part again. Don't get offended by what James Palmer is saying. And this is just his observation. But I don't believe this is about all the outplayings. I don't think that's what this is about. Because if you just say he's outplaying CeeDee Lamb, that's what creates this anxiety in the minds of people. No. We're not going to make this about George Pickens outplaying CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens is outplaying everybody. Because they have an unstoppable play. I'm going to spill this over into the unstoppable play the Cowboys have developed with George Pickens. And because that play is unstoppable, you're going to see CeeDee Lamb get way more opportunities than CeeDee Lamb ever would have got. Guys, we ought to be screaming hallelujah. We ought to be screaming hallelujah. We know how great CeeDee Lamb is. And if you're telling me that we're going to get CeeDee Lamb more one-on-one opportunities like we did last week, I am not going to complain that George Pickens is playing better than every wide receiver out there right now. Now, the guy in Jiba, he's got an argument. Because right now people are saying he's the best. But I'm saying it's George Pickens because George Pickens has an unstoppable play and the Cowboys know it. And it's going to open up this Cowboys offense again tonight. And it's going to give CeeDee Lamb some one-on-one opportunities.
I'm told, look, he's moving around more. That Philly game a couple weeks ago, we thought it's going to be Quinyon Mitchell versus George Pickens on the boundary, nonstop. that didn't really happen because they moved George around.
Yep.
And CD's always been moving around. So now
CD's always
he's a
moving
movement
around.
receiver, right?
Yep.
I mean,
and he was also, CD's had a tough outing last couple of games. Obviously, a couple of games ago when he had all those drops, but no matter if a wide receiver has drops or not, the DBs still have to understand, and they do realize, in case he actually catches this one, you still got to cover him. Yeah. But George Pickens and what he's been able to do and how he's been able to do it has been pretty impressive. He's been primarily at the X position and not really moving around, and all of a sudden they start moving him around, and they get some mismatches that they normally aren't really used to because he's just been staying on one side of the field. And that was the difference against the Philadelphia Eagles, where he had the opportunity to really, DeJean, to go against some guys of lesser talent than him. Because George Pickens is one of the most creative route runner. And the way he runs his routes, if you watch him, you think he's jogging. But he's not. He's just a galloper. He's a long stride guy. He's very sneaky.
Now, he's going to explain this slant play similar to how Michael Irvin explains this slant play that it is hard for teams to stop. Listen how he explains this.
On his releases, he loves to really kind of play like a basketball player a little bit when he gets his release. But once he gets the ball in there, he's trying to grab a rebound. He high points the ball every single chance. No ball is uncatchable outside of his shoulder range, whether it's over the shoulder, down low, just playing really, really good football. And CeeDee Lamb is not the main focal point, but don't get it twisted. CeeDee Lamb will get his. He will be back to where the CeeDee Lamb that we know. But having both of those guys be able to run different routes, put them in stack position. Now teams may be matched up or want to play like the Lions want to play man-to-man coverage, where the Lions play a ton of man-to-man coverage. I'm not sure why, but they play a lot of man-to-man coverage. Well, now you all of a sudden, if you got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb right there in a stack, that's automatic. Back off and allow these guys to have free access, but not free access off the jump. It's just about 3 yards, 2.5 yards off, just to get them going so you can kind of ride them. But that's still not going to help because these guys know how to have great releases. So it's really problematic for the defense. You're talking about the Detroit Lions, who really had a tough time covering people, really did not do a really good job of taking care of their luggage out in the secondary. And I don't imagine that this is, with this talented Dallas Cowboys offense and the way Dak Prescott is surgical back there when you give him time, that the outcome is going to be well for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And you've seen one of the things I wanted to ask you about this as a receiver, Pickens' ability on these in-breaking stuff, all this.
Here it is right here. Now, again, let's understand what Steve Smith is saying. Steve Smith is making the same argument that I've been making. This doesn't even matter. Don't even make this about who's better between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. George Pickens is just playing better than everybody right now. But that don't take away from the elite receiver that CeeDee Lamb is. And it's just going to give CeeDee Lamb more opportunities. That's all this is going to do. And it's going to give the Cowboys more big plays. And I'm telling you, Detroit, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again. Detroit's going to take some chances. They're going to throw everything they can at Dak Prescott. They're in desperation mode. They are going to throw everything they can at Dak Prescott. We know Dak Prescott is devastating against the blitz, and they're going to do it. They're going to do it. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb will get some one-on-one opportunities tonight. They're going to give it to them. They're so desperate, they're willing to live and die on it. That's Dan Campbell. And you know, you can either love it or hate it about him. This is why he goes for it on fourth downs in field positions that most people wouldn't go for. This is why he does dumb trick plays. This is why he's always trying to fool the referees, trying to fool other teams. This is Dan Campbell. They're going for broke tonight. The Cowboys should absolutely eat. Dak Prescott should have a very big game, but he's going to have to keep his guard up because I'm telling you, they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. Let's read a couple of these super chats. My man Star Guardian X, what up? Yeah, St. Brown is active. That's good. Still don't think he'll be running like he normally does, but that's good. Clowney is inactive. Thankfully, we have depth. I was just about to say it, Star Guardian X. This is the James Houston game. This ought to be the James Houston game. James Houston should be able to step in there tonight and do some damage. Yeah, I see that, Keith Tauber. Yeah, looks like Clowney couldn't suck it up, which leads us to believe it must be more serious than what they thought. Must be more serious. All right, so let's kind of listen to him explain this slant play and why this thing is so hard to stop.
In breaking route stuff.
Crazy.
Why is he so borderline unguardable, Steve? Or why is he so good at those type of routes?
Unguardable.
Well, one thing that he does really well is when he gets going, you can't really ever tell when he's going to break down because he does it in such a rhythm that he hits you and then he goes and all of a sudden Dak is on time. So by the time you figure it out where you go, oh, ball's there.
Yeah.
And then he can scamper away from you too as well. So it just really becomes trouble when you're trying to cover him.
Yeah, it really is. And the other thing is nobody's drawn more pass interference calls this season than CeeDee Lamb. Nobody's drawn more pass interference calls as a team than the Dallas Cowboys. People are grabbing, trying to figure out what they can do to guard these guys. And they are. And at the same time, you have Javonte Williams, who they picked up off the street out of Denver, having a career year running the football, and they are starting
Think they can use him in Denver right now?
Yep.
Oh my God, right? Man, if that team had a run game, J.K. Dobbins, big loss. But now you've seen the way that Shoddy has now increased the play action game. I think I call him Shoddy, right? The way he's increased the play action game with Dak, something they weren't using maybe as much in the beginning of the season, but now you got to respect the way Javonte Williams is running the football. He's running it brilliantly on first down. He's got the second most carries in the NFL on first down, and he runs it like 5 yards a clip on first down. So they're always in manageable situations. You got to respect the play action game. You got to respect the run. It opens things up for these receivers. His intermediate game has been great for Dak. He's been standing in the pocket. When I talked to people in Philly, they were like, nothing fazed him. We couldn't move him off his spot. Dak, we really respected the way he stayed and hung in there. And the intermediate passing game has been awesome, like I mentioned. And then, oh, by the way, you got Jake Ferguson playing the tight end spot where there's no higher completion percentage between a quarterback and a pass catcher in the league than Dak to Jake Ferguson. I don't know how you stop the group. So to me, now that we've seen these, you mentioned the in-season trade, Steve, they have now poured resources into the defensive tackle spot, something Jerry really has never done.
Finally.
You see, finally. And you got three guys now. They don't all play at the same time, but in Kenny Clark and Osa Odigizua and Quinnen Williams comes over in the trade.
Yep.
They're a completely different defense down the middle. Logan Wilson's there. Demo's back. Like, if they play okay defense the rest of the way out, the reason I'm bringing this up, and I mentioned that they obviously have to win this Lions game, but at the same time, look at what they have left after the Lions. Vikings, Chargers, Commanders.
Both of those teams are limping into these games with the Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings.
And then the Commanders, and then the Giants.
Yeah.
They can get into the postseason, Steve. And this is a dangerous Cowboys team, right? Like, oh, it's going to be interesting. What I am.
I'm telling you guys, that is why this is the game. That is why this is the game. Man, I'm telling y'all, this league really, even though the Cowboys got these 4 games in around 16-ish days or something like that, the Cowboys are literally going to get another 2 bye weeks almost. The Cowboys will have 10 days off after this game. They'll play the Vikings. They'll play the Chargers, they'll play the Commanders, and then they're going to get another bye week or basically 10 more days to see how everything develops And so what will that last game mean? Man, I'm telling y'all, boy, this is fantastic for the Cowboys, man. Cowboys got to take care of business tonight. Now, I notice we keep saying about Jadeveon Clowney is out. Yes, again, James Houston needs to step up, next man up. True Texan Clowney is out for tonight's game. But you know what I love about this Dallas Cowboys team? They're built for this. They've been dealing with injuries all season long. They're built for this. Jadeveon Clowney being out, is it a big deal? Yeah, but it's not a big deal. It is, but it isn't. Why? Because the Cowboys been playing next man up all season long. The Cowboys still got James Houston. The Cowboys still got Dante Fowler. And hey, man, for what it's worth, Sam Williams has been playing pretty doggone good. Sam Williams has made some big plays over the last 3 games. So I'm pretty sure Sam Williams will get a few more snaps tonight. And I'm sure James Houston's probably gonna get a lot of snaps tonight. He gonna be wired. So I want the Cowboys, man. Hey, no big deal. Next man up. Cowboys, they're built for this. They've been doing this all season long. But I'm telling this, man, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better and better for this offense as this thing gets going. So let's shift gears over here to, is Dak Prescott top 10? I wanted to go to an article because there were a bunch of articles like this. There were a bunch of articles like this early on. This was this year. Let me see the date on this. This was July the 14th, 2025. I can remember this like yesterday. Pundits were hating so bad on Dak Prescott. Pundits were killing Dak Prescott. Oh, he's not top 10. Oh, he's a tier 3 quarterback. He's good. He needs a lot of help and blah, blah, blah. Just killing Dak Prescott. Says in this article in July 2025, it says Dak Prescott falls out of the top 10 of ESPN quarterback rankings after $240 million contract. I mean, just killing Dak Prescott. Prescott struggled to start the season, throwing for 1,978 yards and 11 touchdowns in 8 games before suffering a season-ending hamstring injury. While this absent tanked Dallas season, they won just 3 of the 8 games he played in, indicating that he was a part of the problem. After the best season of his career in 2023, Prescott's struggles in 2024 resulted in his ouster from ESPN's prestigious list. It's kind of funny that this was just last season. Only for us to come back this season, and I'm noticing now, y'all already know since you've been following me, I've been saying that Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback. I've always said that the only quarterback that would be a conversation for me to take over Dak Prescott is Patrick Mahomes. I wouldn't take Lamar Jackson over Dak Prescott, as talented and athletic as he is. I would not take Josh Allen over Dak Prescott. I wouldn't take Joe Burrow over Dak Prescott. That doesn't diminish those quarterbacks. Those quarterbacks are still great. But what I am telling you is, those quarterbacks can be great, but Dak Prescott is better because Dak Prescott is a better quarterback. Dak Prescott, if you take away Lamar Jackson's legs, tell me is he good or average? Because I'm going to tell you he's average. You take away Josh Allen's ability to run and his power run game. Is Josh Allen elite or is he just good? I say he's just good. Dak Prescott was a running quarterback when he came into the league. That was a big part of his game. Dak Prescott, legs got taken away from him in a sense with that ankle injury, and Dak Prescott has only went on to be even better. Dak Prescott worked on his mind, his body, worked on his throwing, his throwing motions. I mean, Dak Prescott worked on everything, continues to work on everything. And where a lot of these things have come natural to these other quarterbacks, Dak Prescott worked himself into these things that we're watching right now to become natural. Dak Prescott worked his butt off, and hard work pays. Isn't it funny? When we look at this was actually written today, dropped at 2:44 p.m. Nick Shook, NFL writer, NFL quarterback rankings, week 14. Lamar Jackson falls out of the top 20. Who jumped 12 spots? Well, I don't know about anybody jumping 12 spots, but I can tell you what these rankings say. Y'all remember when Dak Prescott was a tier 1, tier 2? Some people had him in tier 3. He's a tier 3 quarterback. Strange, isn't it? Tier 1, Matthew Stafford. Tier 1, ranked number 2, Drake May. And number 3, Rain Dakota Prescott. Isn't it funny? All of a sudden now, what we already knew. Dak Prescott is a top tier quarterback. And Dak Prescott is playing better than Justin Herbert. And I don't think Justin Herbert is tier 1, but he can be there if they want him to be. He's not better than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Dak Prescott is better than Josh Allen. Dak Prescott is better than Drake May. I mean, I understand what they're doing, but he's better than Drake May. And just as a side note, this is why I said last year when we were talking about this Joe Milton stuff, we ain't hating on Joe Milton. But what I am saying is that people were saying that he was better than Drake May and pushing and all this stuff about Drake May. Well, I think Drake May is quieting a lot of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. He's had a super easy schedule. But Drake May, he seems to be the real deal. He absolutely does seem to be the real deal. But I still say Dak Prescott is better than Matthew Stafford, better than Drake May. And I'm telling you right now, Dak Prescott's going to win this MVP. If Dak Prescott continues on this trajectory he's on right now, when you look at the difficulty of schedule, Dak Prescott is winning the MVP. If the Cowboys win 7 of the last 8, or they win out, and I believe they're going to win out, Dak Prescott, no matter what these two quarterbacks do, Dak Prescott is going to win the MVP. They're not letting Drake May win the MVP on a 2-year. This is just his 2nd year. I guarantee you he won't win the MVP. Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott is just playing that much better, I believe, than Matthew Stafford. Dak Prescott is going to win the MVP. And we have a top 5 quarterback, top 3 ranked quarterback playing for us tonight. Dak Prescott's been incredible. He's been incredible. But this been Dak Prescott. He's been incredible. The only thing we're watching now is that the Cowboys have started putting players around him. And I told you before, you want a dominant player to dominate? Put players around him. And now he's dominating. Star Guarding X said, G, do you want the ball first or defense first? I would rather defer. I would rather the Lions get the ball first. Because in this game, I want to set the tempo of this game with my defense. Star Guardian X, I want my defense to set the pace of this game. I want my defense to come out here and be on fire. I want them to send a message to Jared Goff, Montgomery, and Gibbs. Not tonight. I want a message to be sent to Dan Campbell. If you're beating us with Jared Goff. Because you're not beating us with your run game. You're not beating us. Brandon Cup. He said Dak earned that respect with skill and humility, best quarterback for real. See, a lot of people don't realize, man, Dak, the reason why I give Dak Prescott so much credit, Dak Prescott, in the grand scheme of things, was not a natural. When you watch Dak Prescott early in his career, Dak Prescott was more of an athlete than he was a quarterback. I mean, he was fourth on the depth chart. He had a very good Senior Bowl game. You know, he did some great things in college, had the team ranked number 1. But in the grand scheme of things, Dak still needed work as a quarterback, similar to Jalen Hurts. The difference between Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott has evolved into a savant. I mean, he is a quarterback. Quarterbacks love watching Dak Prescott play quarterback. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Troy Aikman, they talk about how great this dude plays the position. From the pre-snap reads, post-snap reads, the way he moves and manipulates the pocket. I mean, Dak Prescott, if you want to put on a tape to show a high school quarterback how to be a professional quarterback or a college quarterback how to be a professional quarterback, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's incredible. Dak Prescott has endured a lot. And the thing that I've liked about Dak Prescott is not just what he's worked on as far as his skill, but Dak's mental fortitude is what I love. It's his mental fortitude and refusal to fold. Even when people try to doubt and down him, he never folds. So I love that about Dak Prescott, and it's going to pay dividends. The Cowboys are going to get a Super Bowl under Dak Prescott. Okay. Looks like we got roughly about an hour before the game starts. So I want to make sure we get in Mark Ryan from 97.1. I want to get in Mark Ryan from 97.1 talking about the Detroit Lions. This was yesterday, but he's going to give us some insight on into the things about the Detroit Lions. Let's check it out.
Let's jump out to the D&M Leasing Hotline. Welcome, Mr. Mark Ryan. We were former teammates over at Sports Radio 610 in Houston, and here we are reconvening once again, him in Detroit, me in Dallas. Mark, it is always good to hear from you, my man. Love to see that you're kicking ass and taking names, and, of course, always enjoy hearing you there on the Infinity Sports Network. And let's call it what it is. We've got a tale of two teams going on right now. You've got your Detroit Lions, who,
what up, hallelujah?
You know, look, they were a Super Bowl contender. They've been one of the best teams in the NFL the last couple of years, and they're kind of trending in one direction. Now you got this Dallas Cowboy team who, after making some moves at the deadline, seems to be, heading the right direction. What the hell's going on with the Fighting Dan Campbells?
Freddie D, great to be on with you again, man. What a small world our business is, and you and I have kind of kept in some contact all this time, man. It's great to reconnect with you. Congratulations on all that you've got going on.
Appreciate you, sir.
So, yeah, man, look, if it happens one time, it's a blip. If it happens twice, it's a trend. The Detroit Lions have completely fallen apart by way of injuries 2 years in a row. And there's competing factions on this here in Detroit. There's, it's okay, well, what can you do? It's injuries. But I'm of the belief, man, when this happens 2 years in a row, when you're in the middle of a title window, you got to look at everything you're doing. For example, 28% more lower leg injuries are suffered on artificial turf than grass. Buffalo, Green Bay, for instance, colder temperatures, average temperatures, December, January, February. They play outdoors. They play on grass. Why don't you? What are you doing with recovery? What are you doing with training? What are you doing with supplementation? What are you doing with nutrition? I think the Lions really, Fred, have to look at everything, because this is now 2 years in a row where this has happened. Now, I will say this. It has been...
Did I not say this yesterday? Detroit has missed their opportunity. And I think their opportunity was last year, not this year. It was last year. See, when you lose your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, you're not supposed to do that until you win the Super Bowl. You don't do that before you win the Super Bowl. But they knew on the trajectory they were on. Last year had to be it, because Ben Johnson was already being in the conversation for head coaching jobs the year before. And Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn, we already knew the way that defense was playing. Aaron Glenn was going to start being in head coach conversations. So when your offensive coordinator, your defense coordinator, they're in these conversations and you're out there beating the brakes off of teams, you have got to stay healthy because that window was wide open. That window is closed on the Detroit Lions. That window is closed. Another season of injuries. Another season of injuries. And now that you don't have who we now know was one of the best OCs in the game, who now has the Bears on a miraculous run, Aaron Glenn, they're over there cleaning house. I believe in the next 2 seasons, we're going to see how good Aaron Glenn is. And in the Jets, I mean, even though he's ice skating uphill with that franchise, I do think he's going to bring some improvements. Now you left Dan Campbell, and he wasn't able to go out there and get those top-tier offensive and defensive coordinator hires. That's one of the reasons why he's taken the play calling away from the offensive coordinator. And even though they are the number 3 overall ranked offense, some of that has came kind of early for them. But right now, boy, they crashing. Detroit crashing. And some of their crashing is Dan Campbell going for it on 4th downs. I mean, you're talking 3, 4, 5 times in a game, like he's playing John Madden football. But I think they missed their window. Bottom line, they missed their window. They're injury prone, and they've lost 2 great coaches.
56 games since the Detroit Lions lost 2 games in a row. And, there was an old famous war general that said reports of our demise were greatly exaggerated. Folks might be saying that about the Lions after Thursday.
When you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brock Wright, both your tackles, and Kirby Joseph, and then now we got Terry and Arnold, which of those injuries scare you the most in this matchup against the Cowboys?
You know what? It's going to surprise you, but it's honestly Brock Wright because the tight end plays such an integral role in this offense. They have a lot of faith in him after Sam Laporta. When you have neither guy, if Sam Laporta's a 10, they think Brock Wright can be about a 7.5 for them. And then there's a massive drop-off after that where you just essentially don't have a tight end in the offense anymore. The receivers Jared Goff is most comfortable with, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. Now you have neither. You also have an offensive line that's a shell of its former self. Guys, I want you to keep this in mind. You have Hall of Famer Frank Ragnow at center last year. You have multiple times Pro Bowler Kevin Zeitler at guard. You have Taylor Decker, who's almost at full health. Now you have Taylor Decker at 50%, no Kevin Zeitler, no Frank Ragnow. Even Penei Sewell's a bit banged up, and your starter at guard, Christian Mahogany, is still out. It is unbelievable what this team has sustained via injury. And as I was saying, guys, you got to look at everything.
Now we look at this defense, and before we get to the defense.
Man. But let me tell you something. With everything that he said, this is the very reason why the Cowboys have to be careful. Don't go into this game, and I'm just going to assume that Brian has them ready, and they're not going in with these kinds of understandings that, hey, they're missing this guy and that guy, and this guy isn't going to be here. No mercy. No mercy. If I'm the coach, I'm talking up the backups. I'm talking up the backups they have. I'm talking up them, talking about how great they are and how we need to be watching them guys and what they can do to us. I'm telling you, I got to be ready if I'm the Cowboys. I got to be ready for anything if I'm the Cowboys. Dan Campbell is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the Cowboys tonight. This man is in desperation mode. He's in desperation mode. Cowboys got to be ready. I'm not so much worried again about Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not really worried about him. I think he'll play good. I don't think he'll play as good as he's played when he's not injured. I'm not worried. I think the Cowboys defense is good enough. Because I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think he's gonna have the time tonight. I don't think Jared Goff's going to have the time to let plays develop. I mean, if anything, it's going to be short plays, and so the tackling for the Cowboys is going to be it's going to be important tonight, because I just don't think they're going to allow them to throw. I don't think they're going to allow them to get these deep, developing, long throws like they've done like people have done on the Cowboys in the past. Nah, this game, boy, it's going to be some knocking. I'm telling you, the Cowboys defense is going to come out and set the pace in this thing. Star Guardian X. He said, did you guys see Dak on Hard Knocks? Yeah, I watched it last night when he was in the offense meeting room telling them the exact plays the defense was going to do in situations. Yeah, I'm telling you, Dak's got a different kind of mind, man. Yeah, Dak's incredible. Dak's incredible, man. He's seen it all. Yeah, he's seen it all. Junior said, what up, Junior? Appreciate that $10 super chat. Junior said, what up, Jay? Props to Ken Dorsey. Look what he did with Cam in 2014 and with Josh Allen. No coincidence. Dak is balling. Yeah. Cowboys put together an incredible coaching staff, man. They really did, Junior. They put together an incredible coaching staff. And this is going to get us. Rich Lloyd is up in here. What's up, Rich Lloyd? Our neighborhood statistician. Rich Lloyd said Lions center Glasgow was active. It will be huge if he can go. Communication will be better for their O-line. St. Brown is playing huge also. Hey, I'm telling you right now, Rich Lloyd, Detroit's desperate. They're desperate. This is why the Cowboys, they got to come out and they got to absorb these haymakers the Detroit Lions are going to throw. The Cowboys are going to have to absorb those haymakers, man. Detroit's going to throw haymakers. Y'all watch what I tell you. They're going to try to throw haymakers. They're going to try to get that run game going, and they're going to try to get that play action going, and they're going to pull that trigger. They're going to pull that trigger. They're going to test. They are going to test Savon Revel Jr. They will test him tonight. You watch what I tell you. They're going to pull that trigger. They ain't going for broke. This is a great game for the Cowboys. I'm excited about it. It's a great game for the Cowboys because Dan is that kind of coach you want to play, because Dan is unpredictable. He's unpredictable. He's dirty. He's nasty. I mean, if you ain't cheating, in Dan Campbell's mind, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. Dan Campbell different. I don't know what to call him. I mean, a couple of years ago, I would have called him a doggone genius. Now he's like Frankenstein. So y'all do know Frankenstein is the doctor, and he's the actual monster. So, man, whoo. Marcus Black, what's going on? Appreciate that subscription. What is going on, Marcus? Hey, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great game tonight. But the Cowboys going to have to really absorb that. They're going to have to absorb, man, because I'm telling you, Dan coming out swinging. Dan coming out swinging. Hey, Marcus Black, you said he's an equalizer. No. Hey, man, Quentin Williams, he more than an equalizer. That man is the dude that's taking this thing over the top. Quentin has put these Cowboys on a different level, Marcus. He put these Cowboys on a different level, man. He's the one that's got Dak Prescott feeling comfortable. Man, let me tell you something. Dak Prescott said something about Quentin Williams that tells us everything we need to know. Dak Prescott is the first one in the building. Dak Prescott coming in the building. Guess who coming in the building? Quentin Williams. That's what Dak Prescott was waiting on. Dak Prescott was waiting on that type of player. Not only what he does as in taking care of his body, how he speaks to the press, how he speaks to his teammates. I'm telling you, this is no shot on no one else. But Quentin Williams is the type of player that truly elevates everybody around him. This isn't a Michael Parsons thing either. An edge rusher, he cannot do what an elite defensive tackle can do. An elite defensive tackle, because he's the heart and the soul of your defense. He is the man that says nobody gets through this middle because he's that elite of a player. He makes also Diggy Zua better. He makes Kenny Clark better. He makes Ezaraku better. He makes whoever's lining up on his left side better, whatever side he's lining up on in the middle of that defense. Not only does he make them better, he makes the linebackers better because he can take those double teams and the linebackers can clearly see who's coming through the gaps. The linebackers, they don't have to overreact. They can just sit there, react, react, and come down with the hammer. He makes the cornerbacks better because the cornerbacks, they don't have to hold a receiver all over the field. No, it's 1 potato, 2 potato, 3. You don't get that ball out. Quinnen Williams not only takes double teams. Y'all remember how we used to brag about Michael Parsons got double teamed and we would make that and say that's why he got stopped? Have you ever noticed? Quinnen Williams not only gets double teams, he eats double teams. He's different. He's different. Quinnen gets double teamed, but he eats them. Has anybody noticed we don't make that excuse? We haven't been making that excuse for Quinnen Williams. Why? Because even when he's getting double teamed, he's making plays. And what really makes Quinnen Williams so nasty, there is no way this dude is supposed to be also pressuring the quarterback. 19, if I'm not mistaken, 19 quarterback pressures, and he's a threat to sack the quarterback. He makes the entire defense better. He's always talking. He's not just running his mouth to be running his mouth. He's telling players, I got you. You just do this. Be here, be there. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You watch what I tell you with a be there. He's raising the level. Man, let me tell you something. I was waiting on Demarion Overshown to come back because I said Overshown was going to be the leader. I never knew the Cowboys was going to get Quinnen Williams. Man, this dude, Quinnen Williams, is leading on such a level that even Demarion Overshown has said, hold on a sec. I'm going to follow your lead, big dog. This dude, Quinnen Williams, is an elite level player that Dak Prescott was waiting on. I'm telling y'all, people don't talk about this enough. How do you think Troy Aikman felt? How do you think Troy Aikman felt having the defense that he had in 92, 93? You got Charles Haley on the... How do you think Troy Aikman felt when they went and got Charles Haley? What? Do what? They go get Deion Sanders in 95. How do you think Troy Aikman felt? I'm telling y'all, when your defense is good, man, your quarterback, I said this when the season started, but your quarterback got a different swagger. Your quarterback got a different swagger when he know he got a monster on the other side of that field. Man, he different. He different. He acts different. He moves different. His confidence level is different. Man, I'm telling you, Quinnen Williams, man, he's something different. We're going to look back on this 2025, guys, and I'm telling you, we're going to look back and we're going to say, man, this was, hey, I told y'all. It's funny to me, I didn't hear anybody else talking about this. All of a sudden, I'm hearing people talk about this. I didn't hear anybody say this until I said it. Jerry Jones is going to be a consideration for the GM of the year. I didn't hear nobody else say that. Jerry going to be in the running for the GM of the year. And Quinnen Williams. Man, George Pickens equalizes. George Pickens puts the pecking order on the offense exactly where it needs to be. Quinnen Williams came over here and did the same thing. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. These Cowboys, they are on to something. They are on to something. Quinnen Williams is incredible. Dak Prescott needed Quinnen Williams. Dak Prescott needed Quinnen Williams, guys. A quarterback not only needs weapons because, hey, you know what? Offense scores points, but I need a defense. I need a defense. If I'm a top flight quarterback, no, I need a defense. I need a defense. I need a defense that gets me the ball and gives me more opportunities to get more points. I need a defense, man. I'm telling us. Papa Suge, stop it. Papa Suge, people are already starting to say it. Papa Suge, they already starting to say it. They're already starting to say Jerry Jones, Executive of the Year. Yeah, watch what I tell you. Cowboys win this game today and they win out. Y'all are going to be shocked. Jerry Jones is going to be in the running for the GM of the year. He's been responsible for 3 of the biggest trades in the NFL. George Pickens, Michael Parsons for 2 number 1s, and Kenny Clark, circle the block, came back, got Quentin Williams. Those are 3 of the most impactful trades we've seen the entire season. Oh, yeah, Jerry Jones is going to be in that running. You watch what I tell you. Blue blood, I agree with you. We're not finished. Not finished. Young K, he said facts. We're not finished. El Chuco in the house. Yes, I'm telling you, these Cowboys are going to be incredible, man. But again, tonight, these are the games. These are the games, guys. These are the games that makes everybody believers. Because I'm telling you right now, there are some Cowboy haters out there right now. They're waiting on the Cowboys to win this Detroit game. Haters don't matter. Haters don't care if you beat. They don't care if you win 3 games in a row. They don't care if you beat the Raiders. They'll say, oh, it was just the Raiders. They don't care if you beat the Eagles. They'll say, oh, the Eagles wasn't that good offensively. They don't care if you beat the Kansas City Chiefs and now you've beaten 2 winning teams in a row. They don't care if they were the previous Super Bowl champs. The haters are always looking for reasons to hate. Cowboys win this game tonight. Signed, sealed, and delivered. The world. Y'all get ready. They're going to be on the bandwagon. Y'all get ready. We all about to have to make room. Because when the Cowboys spank these boys tonight, everybody going to be on the bandwagon.
And just the overall, you lose Aaron Glenn, you lose Ben Johnson.
Yep, I mentioned this earlier.
Obviously, we know what those 2 are doing and kind of having, Ben's obviously got the number 1 team in the NFC. Aaron, well, it's the Jets. That's a whole other conversation for another time. How do you think Dan Campbell has, guided this team with new play callers? And, well, obviously, he's the play caller, but with new coordinators. And was that as big of a loss as we think it was?
It was huge.
More health?
Huge.
So, yeah, 5 times in NFL history, a team has lost both coordinators in the same offseason. On average, those teams were only 1 game worse the following year.
Oh.
I don't know that Aaron Glenn was this huge loss. I think Kelvin Shepard has stepped up admirably in his stead. The defense has improved from 20th last year to 12th this year, even amidst all the injuries. I think, honestly, gentlemen, John Morton is a huge swing and a miss at offensive coordinator.
You know what, man? Man, let me tell y'all something. I appreciate Mark Ryan, bro. I'm not letting Mark Ryan get away with this on Aaron Glenn. Heck no, I'm not letting him get away with this. Man, Aaron Glenn, by the time the playoffs rolled around, they were talking about last year. How many different players did Aaron Glenn go through? Aaron Glenn went through 20-something different players. Aaron Glenn got to the point he was pulling up at Walmart, seeing if somebody could play defense on Sunday, going to the crowd, having a raffle, see if anybody could play defense on Sunday. I'm not letting this man get away with this. Aaron Glenn, man. Stop it. Aaron Glenn was more decimated on defense this year. Let me say it like this. Let me rest my case with this. This man had to go more than half of a season without Aiden Hutchinson. Rest my case. Stop it! Stop it! I'm not a Detroit Lions advocate, but I'm telling you, I'm not letting Mark Ryan do this. No, both of those guys were a big blow. They were a huge blow. Aaron Glenn did a lot of things he did last year with, I'm telling you, I think he might have even called one of my relatives to come play for the team. Stop it, Mark Ryan.
What they needed to do was to continue to go out and find a young offensive mind, kind of the next Ben Johnson.
And like you said, they missed on the OC. And, hey, let me tell you something. You're not replacing Ben Johnson. I just don't think you replace Ben Johnson with just some up-and-coming OC. I mean, when you're talking about replacing Ben Johnson, you probably needed a head coach or an ex-head coach like a Doug Peterson type to come in and take the place of somebody like him. But you never know. Dan Campbell might have wanted to do this because maybe this was his plan all along. Now he got the plays. I'm loving it. I'm glad he's calling the plays tonight.
What they did was kind of hire an old hat familiar with Dan Campbell. And, Dan Campbell can sweep it under the rug all he wants, taking over the play calling. Guys, under the big deal, little deal, or no deal game, that's about as big a deal as you could have.
It is.
How many offensive coordinators are stripped of play calling midway through the season? And Dan Campbell.
Did I not say this yesterday? Did I not say this? When you take the play calling away from your offensive coordinator, that's the beginning of the end. Did I not say this? That's the beginning of the end. I'm telling y'all what we're watching tonight. Dan Campbell is in desperation mode. And I want the Cowboys to put a Mortal Kombat 2 on him. I want the Cowboys to finish him. I want the Cowboys to finish Dan Campbell tonight. Bro, you already breaking down. I want the Cowboys to finish breaking down Dan Campbell. I want a flawless victory from the Cowboys tonight. Finish him. Finish him.
Wants to, continue to prop up his guy, and I still have a lot of belief in John Morton. Hasn't given him the play calling back. Dan Campbell's obviously rusty at this, out of practice, trying to manage everything, along with the play calling at the same time. It's just been a mess.
Would you say if the Lions were to lose on Thursday
What up, Ron,
and maybe
man?
continue on the losing path, would you say that the Detroit Lions window has closed from when 2 years ago and even the last couple years they've been a Super Bowl contender?
I wouldn't, because
it's over.
Look, I think at quarterback you're obviously good enough. I was thinking about this today, guys. Dak Prescott or Jared Goff, which one of the two would a majority of Americans take if they had the choice? But the reality is I think Jared Goff is good enough. I think you have enough faith in the guys who are out.
What? Did Mark Ryan, bro. Guys, I'm sorry. I've heard enough of Mark Ryan. I've heard enough of Mark Ryan. Stop it. Did this man just have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say, oh, well, if the majority of Americans had a choice right now to pick between Jared Goff and Dak Prescott, who would they choose? What? Stop it. Well, you know what? I will give him this. I do think Americans, I do think most Americans would pick Jared Goff over Dak Prescott to be the backup to the Statue of Liberty. Because that's what he is in the backfield. He is a statue. Yeah, they pick him for that. But to play quarterback, man, Detroit Lions wouldn't even pick Jared Goff to pick over Dak Prescott right now. Stop it, Mark Ryan. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, boy? This is pure buffoonery, man. This is pure buffoonery. All right, guys, let's go back over this game. I'm getting ready to get off here in about 15 minutes, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me, having fun before the Dallas Cowboys game, feeling confident, feeling real good about what this team is right now. Even though I'm having fun, I really think the Cowboys are focused. Hey, Young K, you getting this, ain't you? Young K, you getting this, ain't you? Man, I'm like Rodney Dangerfield tonight. It's a tough crowd up in here tonight. Somebody's going to get this on their way home tonight. But again, I'm telling you, kind of getting back to these keys and predictions for tonight. Let's kind of get back into this. It's going to be a great game by the Dallas Cowboys tonight. Let's look back at our keys for the game. Storylines again. Cowboys revenge game. Cowboys are not looking at this as a revenge game. Jerry Jones is. Jerry Jones said he cannot get out of his mind that the Cowboys got beat by the Detroit Lions at home last year, 47-9. James Houston, wondering what's going on with him. I wonder what his mindset is. Pickens, that slant play is going to be, they're going to try to stop that slant play tonight. You watch what I tell you. That should open up George. That should open up CeeDee Lamb. That should also open up Kevontae Turpin. That should also open up Ryan Flanoy. That should also open up, at least I'm hoping that we can get some Ferguson up the seams. I believe Dak Prescott is going to be phenomenal. He's already calling it. Jared Goff, I believe the pass rush is going to be ferocious. I also believe that the Detroit Lions are about to meet their doom, and this is a playoff game tonight. So it looks like I had a question mark by this the other day. Looks like we got our answer. And I kind of thought this was going to be the answer because the Detroit Lions are in desperation mode. And I'm pretty sure that Dan Campbell begged everybody that can go to go tonight. I'm pretty sure he did. Because when you look at this Lions injury report, it is riddled with injuries. Kirby Joseph, Caleb Raymond, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, Amon-Ra St. Brown will be out there, but he's got that ankle injury. We'll see how that goes. We'll even see if he finishes. But they got a lot of people on here that were already questionable. Coyote, they got Brian Branch, Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Panay Sewell. So many people on their injury report. And some of these guys are going to go tonight because they are in desperation mode. Cowboys, unfortunately, we were looking at this yesterday. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, we didn't put Jadeveon Clowney on here because we kind of thought he would tough it out. Unfortunately, this must be a little bit tougher than what we thought. And maybe the Cowboys are saying we need him for the long run, so we got enough depth. We can let him sit tonight. Let's bring out James Houston in this thing and see what he does. And so this is what the Cowboys are kind of dealing with as it pertains to the Detroit Lions. All right. So again, we kind of already looked at a lot of these percentages. I really just want to go to the storylines and the keys. Key matchups. I want to add a little bit to this tonight. Of course, Dak Prescott and Jared Goff. Mark Ryan got me laughing up in here talking about who would America choose between Jared Goff and Dak Prescott. Bro, stop it. The only people picking Jared Goff is somebody that wants the Statue of Liberty backup, but as a quarterback, there is not even a conversation. Also, George Pickens on this slant play is going to be a huge deal for the Cowboys. This is going to be a huge deal. And the issue is the corners that will be playing, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. One thing about the Detroit Lions, it's not like they got these huge cornerbacks. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, it's not like they're some small wide receivers. Man, these guys are a problem. And these are smaller cornerbacks they're going to be going up against. So, very interested to see what does it look like as the Cowboys go get ready. Pickens and Lamb gets ready to go against this secondary of the Detroit Lions. Again, Terrence Steele, Nate Thomas, Aiden Hutchinson. This is going to be a big deal. This is going to be a very big deal. They've been moving him around some. We'll see how that goes, but I think the Cowboys are going to fare very well. Cowboys D-line against the Lions run game. I'm telling you right now, these guys are kind of decimated up front. Cowboys are going to be all in the backfield. I see a lot of pitches. I see some misdirection. I see some sweeps. I see some screens. I think they're going to try that. I think they'll try the middle of that defense in the beginning, but I just don't think it's going to work. I think they're going to have some problems. Quinnen Williams, Oso Digizua, and Kenny Clark against those guards. Man, it's going to be a tough day. I really think it's going to be a tough day. But let me add some caveats into this. One of the things the Detroit Lions do, the Detroit Lions, they run a tremendous amount of motion. Now, if you remember something about the Dallas Cowboys, one of the things that was hurting the Dallas Cowboys early on in the season was teams that were running a lot of motion. The Cowboys were getting a lot of miscommunication, people in the wrong spot. They were starting to get big plays and all of these different types of things. So the Cowboys have got to be real careful. So Dan Campbell's going to test them tonight. Dan Campbell is going to try to test and see if this Cowboys offense or this Cowboys defense has really changed. Get ready. He's going to run a ton of options. He's going to run a ton of motion. Absolutely, he will run a ton of motion. So these Cowboys backers, Overshown, and I would love to see Logan Wilson play I want to see Logan Wilson play the majority of this game. I think this is a bad game if the Cowboys start messing around with Murray. No, Logan Wilson needs to be in this game. Somebody that can read offenses very, very well, doesn't overreact, good gap containment. He is the guy you want in there tonight. Of course, Overshown will be in there. These guys got to come up big tonight because I'm telling you, Dan Campbell, I also think one of the things that he's going to do to alleviate some of the pressure off of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown might just be tonight more of a decoy than anything, to where he's just somebody the Cowboys have got to account for. Dan Campbell, I believe, is going to get the running backs involved in this running game. I really do believe that's what he's going to try and do. So the Cowboys defense, they are going to have to be on alert all game long. Dan Campbell, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He's going to throw everything and the kitchen sink at the Cowboys. Yeah, Elbert says motion screens, quarterback bootlegs. Yeah, left defensive end need to stay in his lane. Do not run to fake handoffs to running back. Oh, yeah. Now, this game really does. It's going to be good for the Cowboys from this standpoint. They don't have to worry about no running quarterback. So they're not going to have to worry about that as much. But they will have their hands full with the run game. The real estate vet, he said, I feel Detroit is going to. Hey, I'm telling you, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the Cowboys. Defense got to be extremely ready tonight. Star Guardian X, he says, appreciate that super chat. He said, at the same time, my PTSD of the past has me a little reserved for this game, especially when we've been getting love like all this week from all sides. So, Star Guardian X, let me try to put your mind at ease. The one thing that I think they've done a good job of is that they've insulated themselves. They've insulated themselves from all of what everybody's saying about them. These guys are on a mission. They're on a mission. They're playing. They said they're inspired by the Marshawn Nealon thing, but I think a huge part of this is they're also inspired by the play of Quinnen Williams. They are inspired by Quinnen Williams. And because they're inspired by Quinnen Williams, even the offense is moving a whole lot different. Again, Cowboys will have to be ready. The Detroit Lions, they use motion 69, and you might as well say they use it 70% of the time. 7th most in the NFL. They average about 6.9 yards per play. We've already talked about that. The Cowboys have allowed 6.4 yards per play versus motion. So I'm telling you, if I know these things, if I have these numbers, then you already know that Dan Campbell has already been looking at the analytics, and he is going to try to implement and see what the Cowboys do and see if he can take the Cowboys back and say, you really aren't that good. The Cowboys, again, they're going to have to really, really be ready for this team running on the outside. I also think something that you're going to see tonight I think you're going to see them playing. I think you're going to see the Cowboys playing a lot of zone. While Jared Goff, in the grand scheme of things, he's been good against both zone and man per se. His completion percentage against zone is around 73%. His completion percentage against man is around 63%. Now, you would think that going man against him, because you would be like, okay, well, let's go man because he's only 63% completion ratio. But the problem is his touchdowns against man, 15 touchdowns, 1 interception. In zone coverage, though, and this is why I think the Cowboys are going to probably run primarily zone on him, even though his completion percentage is better against zone, he has 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So the Cowboys, I'm sure they'll mix it up, but I think they're going to run some primarily zone. They'll probably run a lot of primarily zone on him tonight. Yeah, hey, Mac, man, hey, it's on and popping. I'm ready for this game tonight. I'm ready. This is the kind of game the Cowboys needed. They need it because we need to just kill all the doubt. Even if there's some doubt in the Cowboys' mind, kill all the doubt. Go out and beat this team tonight. This is about the Cowboys tonight. This is about them continuing to prove their brotherhood and who they are. So, keys to tonight game: offensively, establish the run early, get a fast start on offense. Pickens early, big plays to Lamb, trick plays to Turpin. Ferguson needs to get more active. The Cowboys need to score 30 points on the road. Right. Defensively, we're gonna keep it very simple. Can the Cowboys get 6 defensive stops tonight? This is kind of how I gauge the Cowboys. I just need them to make stops. I'm not worried about them stopping Detroit the whole game, even though I would love them to. Can they get 6 defensive stops? Because if you can get 6 defensive stops, you're winning this game. Get the ball in the hands of your offense as much as you can. Can you force some turnovers tonight? Pressure Goff up the middle. It's happening. Stop the run. This is going to be the tail of the tape for the Cowboys. Can they stop the run? And Jared Goff, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm taking chances tonight. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. I'm taking chances. I'm going to blitz, and blitz, and blitz, and blitz Jared Goff. Get him on the run. Get him off the mark. And I'm going to make him. I'm going to absolutely make him. I'm telling you, Cowboy fans, I'm making Jared Goff beat me tonight. If I'm the Cowboys, nobody beats me but Jared Goff. He's the only one that's beating me, and I don't think he's capable. The defensive front, I believe they're going to be dominant. The Cowboys are going to play physical. This is why, for me, if the Cowboys win the toss, defer and let your defense come out and set the tone of this game and let Jared Goff understand all day. All day. Let him understand all day, bro. Again, we talked about special teams. We want some big plays again from special teams. We would love to see some more fumbles and things of that nature, but I'd also like to see Kevontae Turpin have some big runs in the doggone, have some big runs on special teams. I really wish the Cowboys, rather than allowing Kevontae Turpin to return a kick and then get right out there with the offense, I actually would rather the Cowboys let him return the kick, put Ryan Flanoy out there, and then just kind of work him in and out of the offense on those drives. But I think it's distracting for him to try to get that big play and then just come right back out there on the field because it's like he's more focused on getting out there on the field. No. If I were the Cowboys, from now on, you make the big kick return, and then we'll work you into the offense because we're not going 3 and out. We're not going 3 and out, so we'll work you back in. All right. So that's kind of what I want from these special teams. All right, it's 7 p.m. I'm about to get out of here. We're about to close this thing out with a bang. My thoughts for the game. My thoughts for the game. Dak Prescott has already told James Slater he's throwing for more yards than he did the last time he saw the Lions. Dak Prescott is saying he's going to be phenomenal. And I believe Dak Prescott is going to be phenomenal. The Cowboys defense tonight. Y'all ready for this? They're going to show us they're real. I still think there are some doubters out there about this Cowboys defense. They're going to show the NFL tonight on the biggest stage. They're for real. Quentin Williams is going to show this league he's for real. Overshown's going to show this league he's for real. Dak, CD, Pickens, they're going to show this league they're for real. Cowboys defense will stop the run. Don't get deterred if they don't do it early. One thing I've loved about the Cowboys defense over these last 3 games, they kind of come out, they take some punches, they kind of see what those punches look like, they've adjusted, and then they've only come out to shut teams down. They are going to put this game in the hands of Jared Goff. Pickens and Lamb, they're eating tonight. Pickens and Lamb, they're eating tonight. They're eating tonight, guys. This is a playoff game, and I love it. Let me put this in the chat one last time. Get those scores into my email. All scores shut off at 7:15. We are giving away that George Pickens jersey tonight for whoever gets the score right. Pickens and Lamb gonna eat tonight. It's a playoff game. Here is my prediction. I believe the Cowboys will win this game tonight at a minimum. 34-20. The Cowboys are winning this game 34-20. I will not be surprised if it's a good game early on, but I think the Cowboys are going to put the pedal to the metal, and they're going to pull off, and they're going to continue to sink this ship of Dan Campbell, and I'm here for it. I'm not forgetting 47-9. I'm sorry, but I'm petty like that when it comes to football. I am not forgetting that not only did you beat us 47-9, that you actually had us beat in the third quarter, and you just put the pedal to the metal. Okay. I want the Cowboys to put foots in them boys tonight. Put foots in them boys. And I hope Jerry Jones comes out in the post game bragging about the fact I feel good that we put foots in the Detroit Lions. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Y'all go get them wings ready. Get the barbecue, the chips and the dip and the pizza. I'm just basically telling y'all what I'm eating tonight. Boy, y'all go out there and get that food ready. Let's go get them. Let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.